looking up there, mostly.
Okay. Buongiorno. Good
I was going to say
morning.
au revoir. Au revoir.
That's goodbye.
I know.
Do you like it for bonjour?
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, amigas.
Hey guys, we are live here in the kitchen. Oh, look at this.
Oh, nice.
We have
Susan, hello.
people in here already waiting. Dorothy's like, we are a minute behind.
I was like, our people are waiting for us, Drew. Fix your hair later. That's what he was doing. He was fixing his mohawk.
Sometimes it needs to be fixed. You don't just wake up like this. Actually, I usually wake up like this.
He does usually wake up. You know what's funny is sometimes, not very often, but he'll pull a little gel in his mohawk, and then he'll go sleep and wake up, and the mohawk's still in the same spot.
It's true. I should have put a picture of us at the wedding. If it's a special occasion, got a little gel, rocking.
He puts a little gel in there. But for my hair, I never go to bed and wake up and it be the same.
Who feels the same way? I'm gonna should I get Instagram? We haven't gone Instagram live for a while.
Sure, let's rock it.
Instagram's a tough one live.
Yeah.
You have you guys coming in more often, but Instagrammers,
Come on, Instagrammers.
I'm really feeling the love, Instagrammers.
Definitely feeling the love over here on Facebook, though.
Yeah, we love you guys.
You guys are awesome. We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to jump on in here. We just finished a workout in the park, so we've been doing our 10-day challenge. Some people are joining us at the park. We have quite a good group, actually, joining us at the park at 6 a.m.
Good, awesome.
And then...
How's my shirt?
I am talking.
Oh, sorry.
Your shirt looks nice.
Thank you. I was talking to them.
You wouldn't even talk to me.
Talking to you guys, I mean.
Then we have I'm just going to continue where I left off. Then we have some of you joining our workout challenge at home. So Sue's in there rocking workout, Chantel, Darlene, and then what was so cool is that some people who missed the park workouts did the at-home workouts instead of the park workout. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, the group is going awesome. Mm-hmm. If someone missed the park workout, then they post a picture of themselves at home working out. And it's like, and actually we did 1 week, so we still have another week. So if you guys are interested, you could still join that.
Yeah, you can join us for the second week, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. at the park in Olds, or you can join us in the group, just the group, not the park workouts, and you can get the at-home workouts. There's a few people rocking the at-home workouts as well. Like I mentioned, Chantel, Sue, Darlene is rocking the at-home workouts. So either way, if you're in Olds and want to join us at the park, or if you're not in Olds and a bit further away and would like to join us, you can join us both ways. And there's still a week left, so plenty of workouts yet to be had.
All right, let's pull in here. We got hearts. We love hearts. You got hearts rocking here. We have hellos. Please say hi if you're in here tuning in. We'd love to see who is joining us. You don't have to, of course, but it's always nice to know who's here, and so we can say hi. And
hello. But if you like to sit back quiet, that's fine too.
Sue said hello.
Hey, Sue.
Sue has been doing yoga and workouts. So let us know how the workouts are going, Sue. And then we have Suzanne. Good morning, Drew and Dorothy.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Louise.
Hey, Louise.
You can always count on Louise.
She's always there.
Thanks, Louise.
In a good way, Louise.
Yes. We have
Chantel. Good morning.
Morning,
Hi, Chantel. Nikki rocked the morning workout in the park this morning.
Great week, Nikki.
It was an awesome week.
Yeah. Oh, what did Don say?
Don, you're here.
Oh, my hair looks, thank you, Don. I put a little water in it this morning.
Don't push them too much, Don.
You want some gel? Should I get some gel? Next time I'm going to have it all up.
Every little piece.
Give me a little boost of confidence. You know, it's funny. I didn't have hair for years, and I know this isn't much hair, but for years.
It's a lot more than he did have.
I shaved my head bald, and I used to actually pick it.
Raise it is what I call it, but that's not the proper way to say it.
Shave it, maybe?
But en français, raser. So I'm always sometimes I say my French word, but it's in an English way. Raise. but it's arroz.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
I never get when Dorothy explains her French. I'm like, what are you talking about? And people are always like, oh, you speak French? Do you teach Drew French? And like, nope, not at all.
I tried to teach Drew French. He's a very difficult student.
She tried for like 4 seconds.
Teachers deserve a medal because tough student.
Wasn't very good at school.
Not a very good student.
I'm really a school person. You know what the thing is, but I wrote a blog post about this, about the stress of being a student, and it was very stressful for me. I didn't learn how everyone else learned it. And when I was growing up, I don't know if teachers are different now, but when I was growing up, there was one way to teach something, and that's it. And that's not how people learn. They don't learn one way. And we know that from running a business and working with employees, for example. You can't explain one thing the same way to everyone because they don't get it. And for me, it was school. Like, honestly, school was very challenging for me. And it wasn't until I got to university, college, and then university, and then teachers are like, well, you can do what you want. You just need to write this paper and pass this test. And they didn't say you had to do it this way. And that's when I started to excel. So it's a little snippet from my past.
So how come when I say, Drew, I don't understand, you have to explain that in a different way? You get frustrated.
I do. I get frustrated, and then I explain a different way. And then you're like, okay.
I don't understand why you don't get this. I'm like, just explain it a different way. Get so frustrated.
Dorothy frustrates me all the time. No, it's not that bad. We have...
Who else do we got? Oh, Erin's in here.
Marina's in here on...
Oh, hey, Marina.
Instagram. Hey, Marina.
Hey,
Marina was with us last year when we did
5 a.m.
workouts. Yeah, that was a bit...
what were we thinking?
A bit much. Yeah, I don't know how we did that. And then we had, Sue said, I've been potentially waiting since 6:30.
Patiently.
Or sorry, what did I say?
See, some people can't even weed.
Can't even weed.
Patiently waiting since 6:30. It's pouring here.
Oh.
Yeah, I think rain. Well, I thought that rain was in our forecast too, Sue. It's a little dark. It's hard to see if it's the clouds, if it's the smoke. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but let's hope rain's coming.
Yeah, I thought it rained a bit, or maybe it did rain a bit, but when we got out there, because when it rains, the smoke goes away. And we got out there, and I was like, oh, it'll be clear. And when we got back from the park, my clothes smelled like we were sitting in front of a campfire.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
And we have Katie.
Good morning, Katie.
How do you say your name, Katie? Longway? How would you say that? No comment?
Let's let Katie tell us.
Okay. Katie, can you help us pronounce your name? I love it when newer people come in and I'm like, because it's just nice to see new faces. But of course, we always appreciate our regulars coming in. You guys are amazing. We got Aaron, and he said, welcome back. Thanks so much, Aaron. You know what? We ate at Our Flames restaurant here in Olds.
Yeah.
And we went to see Broco in the back kitchen, and we were talking to him for a while. He's like, hey, guys, welcome back. And it doesn't seem like much, but it was very welcoming.
It was so nice.
It was like, it's just like a small gesture. Like, hey, like you were gone for a while. We were gone for almost a couple months.
Yeah.
And then when the people are like, hey, nice to see you. Welcome back. It really means a lot. So thanks, Aaron. We appreciate that. We're happy to be back in the community. We're visiting all kinds of friends and businesses and business owners. So, yeah, we're excited to be here, and we're going to rock this fall here. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we just have a few more people to say hello to here, and then we're going to get rocking with our topic. We're going to talk about the struggles this morning of breakfast, and particularly with back to school, we're going to talk about how to get your kids to eat breakfast. Dun, dun, dun. Or how to get yourself to eat breakfast.
That'd be a good start. Morning, Dallas.
Good morning, Dallas.
Dallas is over here on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Those of you Facebookers, if you're Instagrammers as well, sometimes people actually are watching on Facebook and then they leave and they go to Instagram. Not sure why. That's easy, but we're on A True Form Life or Drew Tadia on Instagram, and then Instagrammers, we're live on Facebook at facebook.com/trueformlife. Sue said, love your cups.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Sue. We love these cups. They are actually, what do you call them? They have strainers in them.
Diffuser, tea diffuser, is that what you call it? I'm going to get up and show you guys.
Can you unplug the battery there?
Yep. Show them. Careful, it's a little wet.
So this is what that looks like. Maybe we can go to the other camera. Oh, that's too bright.
Ooh. nice color.
Oh man, it's difficult when you're see that's the computer camera. It's not that great. This is the DSLR, and then we have another camera. That's high quality HD as well. It's difficult adjusting the lights for all of them.
Anyway, this is what Drew was
was
talking about. So these little, I think you call it a diffuser, a tea diffuser. I'm not sure. If you know what this little thingy's called, then let us know. But you put that and it sits on a ledge in the cup. You put your loose tea in there, and then it steeps in the cup.
That's right. So I love them because I'm a big fan of loose tea and combining teas and getting crazy. Be careful with that. Could be dangerous sometimes.
Combining different teas.
Yeah. So that's super.
Sometimes it doesn't taste very good.
Dorothy's like, tastes healthy. I'm like, oh, you're welcome.
You'll thank me for that later.
Dallas said, you always have to eat on the go. School starts September 4th, and I'm nervous about being late. All right, Dallas, we're going to answer that here shortly. So stay with us. We just have a few more. Thanks for the comment, by the way. If you guys have comments, questions, we had Dawn yesterday comment on how well her kids are doing at eating breakfast. So if you have things to offer as well, we're all ears. We'd love to hear from you. And then we have, I was just going to say I love those diffuser things because they're so easy, especially with loose tea. You can just drop it in there. You don't have to mess around with a little thing that closes and drop that in and then try to pull it out.
The little balls, we were not so good at those balls.
Yeah.
You know, the little diffuser balls?
Yeah.
Tea was getting everywhere.
Not a fan. Tina said, good morning, Drew and Dorothy.
Hey, Tina!
Thanks for coming in, Tina. Good morning to you, too. And then we had Dawn. What did Dawn say?
It's easier to teach young children. Yeah.
Are you referring
That's why
to
I like the little ones.
Are you referring to older children, like adult children?
You.
Me? I am not a child.
A big kid. But it's true, and that's one of the reasons I loved grade 1 so much, teaching the little ones.
You just stopped. I'm reading here.
Oh.
Sue says it smells like wet campfire. Yeah,
it does.
It's tough, man. We had no idea we were gone. We came back to this, and we are like, this is crazy. What is happening? And then we have Katie here. She says it's French. Go, Dorothy.
Put me on the spot.
Putting her on the spot. When we travel and stuff, and there's French people around, I'm like, or French-speaking people. Maybe they're not French. But I'm like, they speak French. And I'm like, Dorothy speaks French too. And she won't speak French to them.
I feel lots of pressure, because Drew is I feel like Drew is putting the pressure on me.
Why?
And I don't know why that is. But it was funny because at the farmer's market, there was, in LA, there was a guy selling yogurt and he was from, I can't remember where. It wasn't French. Tunisia. And that's there's French. It's French speaking. Anyway, he was from Tunisia, and I started speaking French with him, and he had he was francophone, and he had no interest in speaking French with me. And I was like, alrighty then.
Yeah, but that's what you do to other people.
I suppose.
With the majority of people, Dorothy, and I'm like, she's French, so someone will say something to Dorothy in French, and she'll answer in English. And I'm like, why didn't you answer in French? I just told them you were French. Or spoke French.
Anyway, that's something I should work on. Just feels so weird, for me, out of context. If I'm, in New Brunswick, for example, there's lots of French around, right? And so you're in the environment. Or if you're traveling, places
because you're used to speaking French in school only?
Well, that too, right? But I mean, when you don't hear it around you, it feels a little strange. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think it's cool. I wish, and I've tried. We're actually kind of learning Spanish. I know when I lived in Germany. Actually, we have Moni here. She's right here. She's from Germany. She's a friend of mine. Hi, Moni.
Good morning.
Thanks for tuning in. And when I was in Germany, I was there for about 7 months, and I could understand the language. I couldn't really speak it, but I also lived in LA for about a year, and there was Spanish all around. So I could actually speak Spanish and understand regular conversations. And I think it's really cool to be able to speak or communicate in that language. And I wish I could, but I think it's really cool that you can. That's why I'm always encouraging Dorothy to speak it, because I think it's cool to communicate in different language. But
though, for me, because I'm bilingual, I'm not francophone. It's like a shift in your brain. I don't know if this makes sense, but like the way I like to explain it is like one side of my brain is English and one side of my brain is French. So it takes me a shift to go back and forth. It's not like it's not natural, right? So if I'm only speaking in English and then Drew's like, go ahead, speak French. It takes me a moment to process and like shift over to the French side. And it was the same thing when I was teaching French consistently. I would be on my French brain and I would come home and I would be having trouble communicating with Drew because I had to switch back to my English brain.
Sometimes she would come back and start talking French, and I'm like, well, I can't understand you.
So, and I think that's where some of the maybe it's anxiety or stress comes from it when Drew puts me on the spot, is because it's like, I need a moment to shift here.
Anyways, Katie said sorry for putting you on the spot, I guess.
That's okay.
It's so good, Katie. We're just having fun
Drew
here.
does it to me all the time.
I do it all the time. Kayla's in here. Morning, Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
And then Louise says it's a diffuser.
Oh, see, I was right.
Diffuser? Here?
Yeah.
Or diffuser?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for clearing that up for us, Louise. And Louise also said, don't tell, just eavesdrop on the friend. It's funny sometimes, like when we're walking, we travel quite a bit, and when we're in a different area and people are speaking different language, I ask Dorothy, I'm like, is that French? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, what are they saying?
I'm like, I'm not listening to their conversation.
She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, listen. I want to know. But I'm not like all that. Like if it was someone else speaking English, I wouldn't be interested. But because they're speaking French, I feel like it's a secret code, and I'm like, what are they saying? Dorothy thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah, he is a little crazy.
We have Celeste. Am I saying that right?
Oh,
Celeste
yeah.
from Malaysia. You came in last week, I think. So that's very cool. Thank you so much for coming in.
We should get into our main topic.
We've
been messing around here for a while, which is fun, but I know you guys came in to hear our thoughts and talk about eating breakfast.
Did you guys come in to hang out and talk about nothing or breakfast? Like everyone loved that Seinfeld show years ago.
When it was a show about nothing?
Show was about nothing. And I'm like, well, maybe we could do a show about nothing. Sit here and talk. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get into breakfast.
Mm-hmm. It is difficult in the morning breakfast. They always say it's the most important meal of the day, which Drew and I believe it is one of the most important meals of the day. But also we know how difficult it is, and the mornings are crazy. We know before school, but we wanted to offer some quick tips, some suggestions on how you can make that a little bit easier.
Right. Shall we begin?
Yes, we shall.
Okay. If you guys have questions or suggestions on this topic, please let us know, and we will read them and answer.
Yeah, and if your kids are really good at having breakfast before school, let us know your secrets.
Yeah. And if you struggle with it, it's okay. It's okay to share that, because I think a lot of people struggle with this. For me, I really have to go with leading by example, and I know this could be challenging, but
we're not going to say it's easy because it does take work and commitment to improve an area, right? And that's with anything, right? If we want to improve our fitness level, well, we have to put the work and the time and the effort into working out, right? So if you want, if in this case, if our kids aren't great at eating breakfast, or our morning routine is kind of then it's going to take time, commitment, and effort to change it. It's not just going to change overnight. So recognize that. We recognize that as well, but it's important to recognize that and put that time in.
Yeah, it's going to take some time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't even close to where I was going with that.
Okay, where were you going? Go ahead.
But thank you for... I was just going to say that, leading by example yourself. So if your kids don't see you eating breakfast, it's very challenging to be like, you sit down and eat breakfast and I'll make your lunch, for example. Or you sit down, maybe you wake up, you get your kids ready for school, they sit down to eat breakfast and you go and get ready for work. Mm-hmm. So it's very challenging when you're not leading by example. And we know like 100%, there's no question, we know mornings are a mad rush. Like you're getting up, you're getting the kids ready, maybe you're getting your spouse ready. maybe something came up for work that you have to cram in the morning. And there's a lot of different things that come up, no question. But by planning ahead, which will be another tip here coming up, we set ourselves up for success. But I think it all comes back to leading by example and setting some time to be like, we're going to have breakfast. It's important. The kids are going to see you having breakfast, and that's going to just bring it to the next level to show them how important it is because you're having it too, instead of being like, just you have breakfast, and they're like, well, you're not having it. It can't be that important.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say, but there is just no way around that. You have to do that. That part is one of the biggest pieces, like the leading by example piece. And then when you're all sitting down together having breakfast, it opens up the conversation gates to why we have breakfast, what we're eating, how we make it. It opens up all of that conversation around the food. So make the time to have that with those conversations with your children. And I know when I was teaching, I always sat down at lunchtime with my kids in my classroom to eat. I wasn't, I said I would go visit the staff room occasionally, but I would have already eaten because it was so important to me to sit down with them, leading by example, right? And I was always surprised at how interested they were in what I was eating and how much conversation that opened up for them for their own health and nutrition. And, they look up to you, adults, moms, teachers, whatever, caretakers. And I think we underestimate how much they look up to us and that they're always watching. Always.
Like sponges.
Yeah. So even if, you have older children, middle school, high school, it's the same kind of deal, right? Same thing. It's just they're in bigger bodies. And their attitudes might be a little different. But I would suggest doing the exact same thing. Yeah. Okay. With older kids.
Yeah. So I guess that's the very first thing is to understand that leading by example. So for example, I had a friend that was like, his daughter wouldn't eat anything green. And I've known him for years. So I was like, when's the last time you ate something green? And he's like,
I don't like green.
He's like, shut your mouth. He doesn't eat anything green. So she doesn't. So if you go back to yourself, like leading by example yourself, like and you said, my child won't eat breakfast, but you don't look to yourself. And you say, do you have breakfast? Well, no, your child has maybe never seen you had breakfast. So that's where it would be a good start to have breakfast yourself. They can see you have it, and then you can have breakfast together. Right. Mm-hmm. We actually had a comment that someone said, what can I do to get my child to eat better? They said they were not really a good eater. And I was like, well, how do you eat? They said, well, they don't have breakfast. They have the conventional, I think the standard American diet, SAD diet. You have breakfast or a snack at like 10 o'clock, and then you have your late lunch and a dinner. So maybe 2 times a day you eat, and then you have your pastry, a coffee in the morning, and that makes it challenging. So I think leading by example, starting with yourself, is our first major tip.
Mm-hmm. Let's just see if there was any questions.
Well, Dallas is in here on Instagram, and she said that Grace is going to French immersion.
Woo!
Very
awesome!
Cool.
She'll be so good at it.
So Dallas said that you're going to have to teach Dallas how to speak French.
All right.
You got it. And then there's another question. Always have. Sorry, it's hard to read because my shirt is white and Instagram? The letters are right. Oh, she just said school starts September 4th, and she's nervous about being late. And I think, Dallas, that goes back to being prepared and setting a plan ahead of time. And that's such an important subject because we all know what it's like to get up late and to rush around the house.
Oh, it messes up the whole day.
The whole day feels like it's upside down. So if you already have lunch, like lunch is a big one, I feel like lunches are often made in the morning and they're kind of scrambled to get stuff in there. Like, what are they going to eat? I don't have anything in the fridge. Instead of planning the night before. So plan the night before what the lunch is going to be, and then plan the breakfast as well. So you know what you're having. It's not like, oh my gosh, what am I going to feed them?
You know what, too, with routines, we usually wait until the first day of school to start our routine, right? Or and it needs to be practiced. And I've learned this through teaching grade 1 for 8 years. You have to practice routines over and over and over and over again with children so that it's almost like muscle memory, right? And it might feel silly if you've never done this before, but it'll make a world of difference. So for example, like classroom style, we would practice, the kids would already be sitting at their desk, and we would, in the morning, and we would stand up, and we would walk over to, our locker or our hook, and we would practice how to come in the morning, that routine, how to hang up our coat, how to hang up our backpack, like where to put our shoes. And we would physically go through step by step by step with them. So we have a couple weeks before school now, start practicing those routines. And it doesn't always have to be in the morning, right? You could just make it fun. And you say, okay, let's practice our morning routine and pretend that you're waking up, getting out of bed, and what's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to get dressed first, brush your teeth first, however you lay out your morning routine, and then practice going to the kitchen, what are you going to eat, sitting down, and you might be looking at me like, woman, you are crazy, but trust me, it will make a world of difference when the first day of school comes if you practice those routines. And you might think it's silly, and you might think, oh, my kids will never do that. But they like that. They thrive on those consistencies and routines.
And I think it's no different for adults. Like when we talk about kids need routines, we need routines as well. So if you set yourself up for success and you have your own routine, I look at let's see, for example, I like Tim Ferriss, for example. He does a lot of biohacking, life hacking, gives you tips on how to live a successful life. He interviews the most successful people in the world, and every single one of them have a morning routine. And it's not that they are successful and have a morning routine. They're successful because they have a morning routine. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why we don't. Why doesn't everyone have a morning routine if the most successful people in the world do?
Have one.
Right. We have they have less time. They manage businesses with thousands of employees. They have millions of dollars they have to manage and push around. And we're like, no, I don't have time to do that. It just doesn't add up. So if we could look at ourselves and emulate, I feel like there's a path to success that can be repeated and it can be followed. So we need to have our own routines, and when our children have routines as well, you'll both thrive together, not individually. Mm-hmm. We have some questions here I'll bring on. Katie, do you want to start? Do you want to read?
Definitely need ideas. My breakfast is coffee. Oh, we're getting to our recipes here soon, Katie. We got some quick and easy recipe ideas for you guys coming up here.
You betcha, Katie. Stay tuned.
Chantel says, if I don't make my smoothie the night before, I don't have breakfast. My body is just not used to it. So that is a great idea, Chantel, is to make your breakfast the night before. We have some great recipes for that.
Yep.
Making your breakfast the night before. Or, even the smallest things like setting out the granola. I have my granola here. Setting out the granola, the bowls, the spoons, and having the milk handy in the fridge. It's something so small, but in the morning rush makes such a big difference. Because it's automatic or robotic when it's all set out for you. Just go, sit down at the table, pour it, done.
And then you don't forget about it. It's sitting right there in front of you.
And you could even have your kids help you set the table the night before for breakfast, before they go to bed. That could be a part of the bedtime routine is, what would you like for breakfast tomorrow? And it's always nice to give them two choices, right? Would you like granola tomorrow for breakfast? Or would you like smoothie? There we go. Or would you like smoothie? And then they feel a part of that as well when you give them a choice.
And yeah, and that goes back to Chantel says my body's just not used to it, and then that it's a routine. We haven't had breakfast for years, 20 years, 5 years, 10 years. We haven't had breakfast, so we sit down and we try to have breakfast, and you're like, oh, my stomach doesn't like that. Especially if you have toast, eggs, bacon, sausage, and then you always feel bloated. You always feel gassy. Your body's not used to it, so you have to ease into breakfast, and you have to put easy to digest foods in, so you're not feeling nauseous after you try a breakfast after you haven't had breakfast for 10 years.
That's right. Let's see what else we got going on.
Oh, did I pull this one over yet?
Yep.
Oh, I did
That's
that
the one we just talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got Dawn here.
Dawn's in here. Yes, we sit down to eat 2 meals a day together. Ah, that's
Awesome.
great.
Yeah, that's so important.
Awesome.
And that's the routine we're talking about. And Dawn is one of those, like a success story. She says that her kids are really good at eating breakfast. Well, if that's their routine, they wake up in the morning. I'm not sure, maybe you could explain, Dawn, but maybe they wake up and they go straight to the breakfast table. And they have their breakfast together, then they get ready for class. However that works for you. Maybe it's the other way. Maybe they get ready for school and then have breakfast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
Yeah. It's kind of how you would like to set up your routine. September is always so crazy. I usually try to make lunches the night before so that we have a bit more time in the morning and it's not so stressful. That's
Beautiful.
A perfect idea.
Yeah, I think that's how you got to do it. Like, that's going to give you more time in the morning because there's only limited time. We're not going to get up at 4 a.m.
Right.
And spend 5 hours together or whatever it is before you have to send the kids to school. So there's only so much time. So in the evening, there's much more time to prepare so you're setting yourself up for success.
And if your kids are a bit older, you can also have them help out in their evening routine with making the lunch and preparing the breakfast for the next morning because that's going to make your morning routine go so much smoother.
Yeah.
Sue says, I have a routine. If anything interrupts this, I am off the rest of the day. Smoothie with CTP. Going to use the green bag. Trudy dropped off last night.
Oh.
Woo!
Awesome, Sue. That's fantastic. Thank you.
CTP.
Thanks so much for your support with the smoothie. So, for example, if you have a smoothie, like a regular smoothie, maybe just a fruit smoothie, for example, you don't have all the nutrients you need as you would for a breakfast, for example. But that's why we recommend something like Complete Truth Protein. So this has all the macronutrients you need. So it has your healthy fats, complex carbs, it has your proteins, and it has your fiber to help you digest your food. So that's why we recommend Complete Truth Protein, especially in the morning for a breakfast, because it has all the nutrients you need. So it's the same thing as sitting down and having a nice healthy meal. You can just do that in a smoothie form, which makes it that much easier to get nutrients in your body in the morning.
And it's so much easier to digest these nutrients, like you talked about earlier. If you have like a huge breakfast with toast and eggs and bacon and sausage, it's heavy on your stomach and hard to digest. But with something like Complete Truth Protein, the nutrients are easily absorbed and then your body is better able to use them and turn those nutrients into energy. So you feel good, and when we feel good, we're also in a good mood.
That's right. And then, the other thing I was going to mention, if you have a low-quality protein supplement or cheap supplement, if you go to the pharmacy, Costco, grab the cheapest one there because they sell them on discount or sell them in large quantities. You usually get what you pay for. So usually there's toxins, preservatives, additives, things that make it more harmful to our body to have these supplements. So that's why we recommend a good quality one.
And those low-quality ones actually hurt our digestion. Is that?
Yeah, they're toxic.
Did I say that with the right words?
When you put hard to digest foods in your body, our bodies don't know how to break it down, utilize, digest, absorb. Just think about a foreign substance you're putting in your body. Your body's like, what is this? What's going on? So that's why we have digestive issues like refined sugar, processed food, preservatives. They invent new colorings and flavors all the time. They're allowed to put them in food. And our body's like, what is happening? So, you know what is kind of crazy? That our body is a giant defense mechanism. So if we continue to put these hard to digest, highly processed foods in our body puts fat cells around them.
To protect us.
To protect our body because it doesn't know what to do with it. Doesn't know how to burn it off. Doesn't know how to convert it into energy. So we're stuck with it. And that's how we build up toxins in our body. Mm-hmm. We had, Dawn, you want to read this one?
Dawn says, we usually sit down around 7:45 every morning for breakfast. Gives them time to get ready before, and also so they don't have to rush through eating. Yeah.
What time do they have to be at school, Dawn? Like, 8:15?
Well, here in Olds, our elementary school classes begins at 8:40. So a lot of kids start going around 8:15 ish, or between 8:15 8:30. So that they can get a little playground time in usually before they hit the classroom.
We used to have these hearts flying in, keep the hearts coming in, the thumbs up work. We got an angry face there. Sorry if we made you angry. We got a couple laughs, but keep them flowing. If you're enjoying the conversation, we are enjoying it as well. We got another question.
Oh, Sue said something
How
here.
much in a smoothie?
How much in a smoothie? So
water?
we recommend that you start, when you're starting out with Complete Truth Protein, we recommend that you start with 1 tablespoon in a smoothie. Try that out for a week or so. And this allows a chance for your body to process and get used to all the nutrients because it's jam-packed with a ton of nutrients. So you want to introduce it slowly into your body so that it can get used to it in your tummy and used to digesting it. Also for our taste buds, because a lot of times we are used to those synthetic products that have toxic flavorings and all these additives, and that is what our taste buds are used to. And then you go and switch to something natural, and same as what our bodies do, our taste buds are like, what is this? So starting with 1 tablespoon gets our taste buds used to the taste, our tummies used to the digestion, and then you can increase from there. So after a couple weeks at 1 tablespoon, if digestion's going well, if you're used to the taste, then increase to 2 tablespoons. And then if that goes well, you can increase after a month or so to 3 tablespoons, and that is a full serving, is 3 tablespoons. But anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons would give you the nutrient quality you need to stay energized and fueled for the morning.
Yeah, and understand like this, the product has so much density in there. There's so much to it. So if you're not used to having meals, for example, and you have a whole meal, you're like, what? Your body's going to be like, what's going on? Or once you give your body a chance for the product to work, you're going to start digesting foods better. But there has to be a transition phase, I think, and you have to be patient and understand that this is good quality food we're putting in our body. Many times we're not used to putting real quality foods in our body, unfortunately. That's just the fact of the matter. So once you start putting these types of food in your body's going to want to have more quality food. So it's a great way to get started because it's like a gateway drug. Dorothy didn't understand that at all. No, they say like weed is a gateway drug.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
CTP is a gateway
nutrition supplement.
Gateway drug for nutrition supplements. You're going to want to eat more
food,
more healthy food. Okay, sorry I lost you there, Dorothy.
Yeah, he totally got off course with that. Kayla says, Leo is a peanut butter and jam guy first thing when he wakes up with a yogurt drink. I'm the one that doesn't eat.
So you know what the thing is, Kayla, like it's a good thing that Leo is eating. But the thing is, once he gets older and he sees that you're not eating breakfast, then maybe he'll stop eating breakfast.
Right.
And then so just pay attention to, I'm not sure, peanut butter and jam. So peanut butter, we want to make sure that that's just peanuts. So the good quality peanut butter.
Which Kayla does.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then the jam, just make sure it's not all sugar.
Yeah. There's some good quality jams out there, so just make sure that it's doesn't have a ton of refined sugar in it.
But that's great that he's starting to eat breakfast. He's just a little bit. How old is he now?
I think he just had his 2nd birthday, right, Kayla?
So that's great that you're starting routines early at a younger age. So he's already starting to eat that. You just need to continue to emphasize the importance of that. And we would suggest eating with him or eating as a family because that will only kind of, I don't know what the word is, add some substance to the importance of it.
That sounds good, Drew. Good job.
Look at the hearts. The hearts are
flying. Oh my
there.
gosh, you guys, thank you so much for all the hearts.
We have another question.
Dawn is a rock star. Thanks, Dawn, for sharing all your tips. She says, my kids like to go early to play outside, so they usually leave around 8:20.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're close. Some families might have to drive 20 minutes to school.
Or kids are on the bus, too. I guess that's a whole nother ball game, right? When you're on the bus, it's even earlier, right?
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Dawn. Sue said, oh, my God. I don't know what that means.
Probably to your gateway comment.
Oh.
That was a little much, wasn't it, Sue?
I think it's great. Well, you know what the thing is? What we recommend, let's say, for example, in the pantry, you have all kinds of unhealthy types of products. And we recommend adding a clean product in there instead of taking everything else. So add one clean product, add another clean product. Same thing in the bathroom. Instead of taking everything out, all your toxic ingredients and products, add something clean. And I feel like it's the same way. Like when you work out in the morning, that's one thing that's positive and healthy in your life. So when you add a breakfast, you add a smoothie, you're going to continue to add things even though what I said sounds crazy, you're going to continue to add things that is healthy in your life and in your body, and that's only going to want you to be more healthier and more healthy. So, a little domino effect there.
Yeah.
And then Kayla says, it is.
Awesome. Organic gym. Perfect.
I'm 2 years old. Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You just had a birthday not too long ago, I don't think. July, maybe. Am I right, Kayla?
Okay, so the next tip.
I had it, but then we got into all your questions, and now I'm kind of...
Why don't you talk about granola, because you just did a live cooking with Dorothy on Tuesday. So the granola tastes amazing, super healthy, and everyone is going to love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just breathed in a little bit there, guys. Too quickly. Woo! All right, so let's get into some recipes, right, Drew? So like Drew said, we're going to get into talking about some healthy, quick options, because we know it's so crazy in the morning. This granola recipe we made on Cooking with Dorothy on Tuesday night, and you're welcome to tune into that show every Tuesday night, 7:30 Mountain Time. We're actually starting a new series here, and it's going to be all about healthy school lunches, and not just school lunches, but your own lunches, like make and take lunches, because a lot of you have to make and take your lunch to go to work. So here it is, the granola, and like Drew says, tastes like candy. And this recipe is super simple to make and easy in the morning to just grab, pour in the bowl, and add a little almond milk or your milk of choice too. And do you want me to explain the recipe, Drew? Or
I want you to explain the recipe.
Okay. And for the recipe, it's super easy. Very, very few ingredients. You need oats, rolled oats. If gluten is a issue for you, you can make sure they're gluten-free oats. And then you need... What are you doing over there?
I'm waving at Aaron.
Oh, hey, Aaron.
Aaron came in on Instagram.
So you need your... I'll get back to the recipe. You need your gluten-free oats, and we suggest adding CTP to the granola to give it even more boost of nutrient quality and help sustain you and keep you fuller for longer. And the wet ingredients are so simple for this one. It's a peanut butter, applesauce, and a maple syrup. Just those three ingredients. And so then you can mix up your wet ingredients, add it to your dry ingredients, the oats and CTP, and you throw it in the oven to bake on low, and you have your own refined sugar-free, yummy, delicious granola. And my biggest trick for baking granola, I say this all the time, but is that you have to bake it on low, so around 275, and really slow. So over a period of about an hour, put the timer on for 15-20 minutes and stir it. And then really get out those chunky bits. And then after, you can add the nuts, seeds, dried fruit that you want. And if you are having it with your family, with your kids, you can have them get involved in what they would like in the granola. For example, have them pick a nut or a seed that they like to put in the granola. Coconut's nice, like coconut flakes. If your coconut fan is nice in there, have them pick a dried fruit that they like and throw it in there. And then they feel like they're a part of making it, so they're going to be more apt to eat it because they put that time into it, and they're going to want to eat it. Because it tastes good too. I made Drew the other day a granola bowl with it, or a yogurt bowl with it, with the granola, and that's a nice breakfast too. So you put your yogurt on the bottom of the bowl, and we choose like a non-dairy almond yogurt. So just make sure if you're doing yogurt that it's not a flavored yogurt, that it's a plain yogurt, because they add a bunch of sugar to the flavored ones. So pick a non-flavored yogurt, a plain yogurt. Greek yogurt's nice if you're going the dairy route. We like almond, what am I talking about? Yogurt. Lost my word. Yogurt for non-dairy. There's also coconut yogurt for non-dairy. And then you add your flavor after. So that on top of the yogurt, you would put your berries. So we like frozen berries. And then you can put nuts and seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds. And then you add a little bit of this homemade granola on top. And Drew was eating his the other day. And he's like, oh my gosh, this tastes like dessert. So that's another thing that you can do with the granola, another quick and easy breakfast.
Aaron said low and slow, Drew. Aaron knows.
Because she knows that you burn everything when he bakes.
I don't, excuse me, I don't burn everything. I don't bake very often. I like to cook things. I think it's reversed. When Dorothy cooks like on the stove, she used to cook like blasted on high. And I'm like, what are you trying to cook on high? Like high.
I'm trying to make the quinoa cook faster.
So, anyways, then when in the baking, I'm like, it takes a while. Like, it takes a good hour.
For granola.
Granola, like, and it has, I think it takes, like,
so worth it.
Like, put the effort in, like, care for it, understand that it's going to nourish you, and it's going to taste delicious. But for me, I'm like, maybe I could turn it up a little higher. Or a little higher. And then, of course, it comes out in chunks and it burns. And Dorothy's like, you didn't cook it on low and slow, did you?
And the slow part also means to the stirring of the granola, because when you're stirring it, you really have to scoop up from the bottom, flip it, and bang out the little chunkies to make it nice so it's not like clumpy and wet. And Kayla actually tuned into Cooking with Dorothy on Tuesday night when we were making granola together, and she had a really good question, and she said, well, I like to do a double batch, but then it gets like clumpy and wet and doesn't seem to bake. So double batches are great because, of course, you have twice the amount for the same amount of work. But if you're going to do a double batch, I would recommend in 2 different pans, because you don't want the granola to be high in your pan. Thick, high. You want it to be thin layer. You know, if it's a thick layer, it's not going to cook the same. So make sure if you're doing double batch, do 2 pans.
And the kids are going to love this recipe. Family is going to love this recipe. You're going to love it. It's amazing. People are like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever had. And we're not exaggerating. And sometimes we go through phases where we stop preparing it. And then we're like, why did we, then we start again. And we're like, why did we stop this? Mm-hmm. Just give me a second before you. I want to show you guys a picture of our computer here. So, excuse you. No thanks. I don't know what's going on there. Let us know. I just got a notification. Let us know if something just happened.
Hopefully you can still hear us.
Okay, so this is our Instagram page. So here you can see us having granola and adding Complete Truth protein there on the side. And then I'm going to scroll up here. This is us rocking out Instagram. This is a road snack we talked about on one of our newer D&D adventure show. So we actually had this granola in our music. Sorry, help me out. Berries yogurt.
This one here is the yogurt bowl. So that's an almond yogurt with frozen berries and the granola, the Complete Truth protein granola on top.
Okay, and then there was one more. What's going on here? There's one more thing I wanted to show you. So let me go over here.
It's getting crazy. It's making me nervous.
I'm going to, just relax, Dorothy. Then I'm going to trueformlife.com/healthy homemade granola recipes. Those of you on Instagram, we're actually showing our screen on Facebook. So this is all of our recipes are on our website here. So here is a super easy, this is the exact one we're talking about.
Yes.
So I'll copy this link and put it in the comments below. But this is the granola recipe. This is the peanut butter granola. Dorothy puts a lot of time and effort into these. She takes you through a step-by-step process. And here's the Complete Truth protein one.
And the Complete Truth protein one doesn't have any peanut butter in it. Sue actually asked me after the show the other day, is there any recipes without peanut butter? And this is the one. So just go up to the ingredients for a sec, Drew. So this one has applesauce, honey, and apple juice. And what we mean by the apple juice in there is blended from apples, not like store-bought apple juice.
And then the other thing I wanted to show you was our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel has all of our past videos. So you can go to youtube.com/trueformlife. User just means that I'm the user. So youtube.com/trueformlife. And Dorothy, all of our Cooking with Dorothy goes up here. So, for example, the homemade granola is right here.
So if you missed the show last week where we made the homemade granola, you can hop onto YouTube and you can rewatch that.
Right. And then, okay, that's taking a bit to load, so we don't really need that. I just wanted to show you what that looked like. And we should be back
Let's hope it all worked out.
now. Okay. So we just had Moni. She said, I'm out of here. Fun to see you. Unfortunately, I have to leave. My boss just saw me. It was great to see you, too. I love your hat in your picture there, by the way. You're looking good. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in from Germany. And then Sue said, I can hear you.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
Thanks for letting us know, Sue.
We just had a notification. And we're like, what is going on?
So I forgot to mention we do have a prize today. It's getting to the end of the show here, but I forgot in the beginning to show you guys the prize. So if you tune in to the end of the show, we will do a draw for a lovely prize. And there's a story that goes behind our prize here that I'll let Drew share with you. But this here, can you see it? This is actually a yoga bag made from jeans. So this is a jean, one leg of a jean, and this is a belt strap. So the lucky winner is going to get this homemade yoga bag sewn by True Forms Drew Tadia. So Drew, tell them the story a little bit behind the yoga bag.
Okay.
Upcycled yoga bag.
I'll tell them. I just wanted to mention that we also have a few more recipes to share with you as well. So don't go anywhere. And okay, so I was like, we're environmentally friendly, environmentally conscious, and I knew that starting out in business I had to have products. So I was like, why? And then for fitness classes was the first kind of thing that I started before personal training. And I was like, everyone was carrying their yoga mats like under their arm. And I was like, why isn't there bags? Like, why don't people have bags? And I was like, if I could get jeans and I could get, like, they look super cool. I was like, we'll put a little logo on that. And I actually borrowed my grandma's old school sewing machine. And I was teaching myself to sew. I was sewing these bags. And
it took hours.
Yeah. And that's when I realized, like, products have to take a shorter amount of time to be worth, because people aren't going to pay you $200 because it took me 8 hours. So, and then the other thing is I also started to learn about marketing. That's why I understand. I'm like, we could have these great products. Like, I still think it's a cool product. It just took too long to do, for example. And then you have to have a big enough audience that people are actually going to buy your products.
Yes.
And I had no audience when I was starting. So no one was buying them. It was taking me hours to create them. And we have a few left. Is that the last one?
This is the last one.
So we made like 20 of them, 25 of them. Took way too long to create, and then we didn't have anyone to buy them. So it wasn't worth the time putting in. So that's the story. That was years ago. That was like 6 years ago probably. And this is the last bag. So yeah, we want to give it away to you guys and hopefully use it for your yoga class or for a workout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the story.
So stay tuned, and you will get the Drew Tadia original True Form product.
Handmade,
sewn on his grandma's sewing machine.
Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the blog post you just put together about my favorite recipe, which is
drawing a blank.
It's the ginger pear
ginger
cereal.
Yes, that's a nice and easy one for the morning too. And a lot of people tell us, well, I don't eat breakfast because I have digestion and hurts my stomach. I feel bloated, da, da, da. And that goes back to what type of foods that you are eating, right? If you're eating those heavy foods, then it's going to affect the digestion process. Also, like Drew mentioned earlier in the show, understanding that if we haven't had breakfast in months, weeks, years, and then we have a breakfast, well, your stomach is going to freak out a little or not be so happy. So we have to start with something that's easy digestive, that's going to digest easily and be soft or smooth in our belly. So this pear ginger cereal is going to be a great place to start if you're not used to eating breakfast. And I wrote this blog post, but it's actually Drew's recipe. Drew made this up, invented this one. So go ahead, Drew. I want you to explain it because it's yours.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm just going to share the screen with you here. So on trueformlife.com, again, this is our main website. And if you go to our recipe section, see up the top tab here, it says recipes. Pear ginger cereal is right here. Dorothy put it together beautifully. We have a short video of Dorothy and I talking about the ingredients and putting it together. Then, of course, we have the ingredients. So all I did, the thing is that pear and ginger go really well together. And I love the pear ginger smoothie. So I was like, well, why don't we make this a cereal so we can actually eat it?
And the ginger has a ton of health benefits to it as well. Very anti-inflammatory. It actually will help improve your digestion, ginger. So if you're having digestion issues and you know, like heartburn or bloating or anything digestion related, ginger is very helpful for that.
That's right. So those of you that are watching on Instagram, Diane jumped in here.
Hey, Diane.
Good morning, Diane. And then we, sorry, I'm showing the screen here. So the ingredients are half a pear, a banana. I actually grate the ginger so it dissolves in the almond milk. It's amazing. And then I sprinkle on hemp seeds on there, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, some walnuts, a date to sweeten it up a bit. And these are optional, goji berries. If you want to make it a nice chocolate mixture, we put cacao powder in there. And here's a picture of
the ingredients.
Thank you.
Well, some of them, not all of them. But the nice thing about this one, too, is that if you have the base of pear, banana, and almond milk, then you can be creative and add the things that you like. We gave some suggestions there with the walnuts, the almonds, the dates, but you can put in whatever you like, nuts, seeds-wise.
Yeah, and that's just a quick snippet of some of the things that you can do. So we don't just have to, we want you to know that you don't have to grab cold cereal from the grocery store that's usually full of toxins and have tons of sugar in it. We want you to know there's other options. So we have the homemade granola. It's super easy. It's incredibly delicious. It only takes a bit of time. An hour out of your week, I think, is enough time. It is worth it to set your day up for success.
Your week up.
And your week up for success.
Yeah. So we had that, the granola, the yogurt bowl, the smoothies, the pear ginger cereal. You can also switch out the pear and put apples in and cinnamon for an apple cinnamon. Drew actually grated the apples, but you could cut the apples into chunks. Unfortunately, I don't have a blog post for that one yet, but it's pretty easy to make. To grate up or chop up the apple on the bottom, add a banana and almond milk and cinnamon, and then you put your nuts and seeds on top like that. And that's a great alternative as well to, like Drew was saying, those sugary, toxic cereals in the cereal aisle.
I just want to share the screen again. So, if you head over to trueformlife.com, all of our recipes are here. So we have the pina colada quinoa oatmeal.
Oh, that one is delicious.
So if your body doesn't digest oats, or if it's too heavy for you, you can use quinoa as an oatmeal. Mm-hmm. And Dorothy has a recipe here for you.
And you know what the thing is? I have quite a few, or have written quite a few oatmeal recipes, because you know those packets of instant oatmeal, it's like maple brown sugar, apple cinnamon, peaches and cream. Like, those are so toxic. They're full of sugar, preservatives, and lots of times we're putting them in the microwave, which actually is going to make our digestion worse. And I know oatmeal can get a little boring, right? If it's just oatmeal and milk. So I put together a bunch of different oatmeal ones. We have the pina colada one. We have the apple cinnamon oatmeal.
I was going to show.
Are you showing them?
I'm going to.
Okay, apple cinnamon oatmeal. We have. Can I keep listing them? Oh, they're right here. You know what, Drew? If you go up to the search bar and just type in oatmeal, they should all come up. And then I will list them as Drew shows them here. And this is if you're searching for a recipe on our website, like smoothies. Just go to that search bar and type in smoothies or cookies or muffins, and it'll bring them all up for you. So that's the first one is the pina colada one, and peanut butter banana. That's one of our favorites. Apple cinnamon oatmeal, dairy-free peaches and cream
You
oatmeal.
will love that one.
And the peaches and cream one is a good one now because the peaches are so yummy right now.
Yeah. So if you head over to the website, we have tons and tons of recipes there. We have a weekly newsletter we send out, and every time Dorothy writes a new recipe, we put that in the weekly newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to that, if you don't get a weekly newsletter from us, you probably should, because we have lots of stuff going on there. We have 765 hearts. Can we get to 1,000? We're going to wrap things up in 5-10 minutes. We need 1,000 hearts. Let's do it. Let's see what we got
Suzanne
here.
asked a question. How much of the granola can you eat at one sitting? Oh, great question, Suzanne. Thank you for asking. So, a recommended serving is half a cup of granola. If, like Drew is a bit, you need a bit more nutrients.
I'll eat a cup.
So he eats a cup, but regular average person, active person, half a cup is a good serving.
Just half a cup of the raw. Then you add as much milk as you want.
Yeah.
Probably a cup of milk, roughly.
Yeah, probably.
Dorothy likes a very little amount of milk.
I like my granola crunchy, and Drew likes his granola mushy. I'm not a mushy.
Soft.
I'm not a mushy granola fan. So Drew puts a lot more milk than I do. So you kind of figure out what's your preference and go from there.
We use almond milk. You can use whatever milk you want.
Good question, Suzanne. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. And then we had...
Kayla says, sorry, random question. What's the pic behind you guys? Oh, pina colada oatmeal. Yum.
Oh, pina colada.
Pina colada. Oh, it's so good. And it surprised me when we started eating more oatmeal, I suppose, years ago. I was actually surprised how quick it was to make because I was one of those people that would eat the flavored packets of oatmeal, right? And you just put the pack in the bowl, put the water, and whoa, it's done. But so I was surprised at how quick it was to cook my own oatmeal. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Yeah. Answer your question. That's the beach.
That's the beach.
Yeah, that's the beach. We love the beach. We take the beach with us wherever we go. And we believe in visualization, affirmations. You see affirmations there on the top. Mm-hmm. And visualization. And those are the things that we surround ourselves with. And anytime someone visits the house, wherever we're at, people say, I love your affirmations. I love the positive energy you have. We have salt lamps in each home. And that's something, being at the beach more often, something that we've been working towards. And these things turn into reality. So it's very cool and very exciting to be able to share that with you guys. So great question. And help you understand that these visualizations and affirmations and continually reminders, we feel that thoughts become things. We actually did a show about that.
Yes.
And if you continue to wrap your mind around the things that you want to create in life, then you can have them.
Yeah, it'll attract, right? That law of attraction.
That's right. And then...
Drew thinks I'm a little crazy, I think.
Dorothy's crazy.
Suzanne says, I can't wait for your new cookbook. It's in the works.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. But I am, this fall, now that summer's coming to an end here, this fall I am going to be dedicating more time to finishing up the recipe book and cookbook. So I will keep you guys updated on my progress through that so that you'll know when it's going to be released.
Yeah, and thanks for asking, Suzanne.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, if you haven't written a book, you're probably not sure how much work it is. So much work. To dedicate time every single day, and then it's a process. You have to edit it. You have to add pictures. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. There's no question. So it's just going to take some time for it to come to fruition.
Fruition.
Inside joke there. Dorothy thought fruition was actually called fruitation.
I was calling it fruitation my whole life, and then Drew came along and he's like, "What are you saying there?" I'm like, "Fruitation," you know. And I think that fruitation actually makes more sense to me.
Fruitation makes more sense.
Fruitation. Because,
I would agree.
You know,
just not a word.
The process of how the fruit becomes the fruit. Fruitation. And I'm like, fruition? That is not fun to say. I'm staying with fruitation.
Suzanne said, will you have some old recipes in it? No question, Suzanne. We're actually going to have our favorite, most loved recipes. So we had our monthly membership for years now. We have incredible members. They always give us feedback. They tell us what their favorite recipes are. And then I think there's so many recipes that we've put together over the years.
That is the hard part.
So Dorothy's going to have to whittle those down, and I'm sure she'll be asking for your help to be like, this one or that one. So
that's the hardest part, is choosing which, because we have so many good recipes, so choosing which ones to put in. I'd love to put them all in, but then your cookbook would be like this big. Right. So there's been lots of research happening, and now it's just I need to set the time aside to sit down, organize, write, and all of that good stuff.
So just before we let you go here, we're going to wrap things up. So I want to, Suzanne said I want them all. And so I just want to let you guys know about our new YouTube show. It's exclusively on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, we would love for you to check it out. And everyone asks, like, what can we do? How can you help? And I'm going to share a screen again, Dorothy.
I get nervous when he does this.
Only because when I first started, I didn't really know how to get back and forth. So here's our show here. This is last week's. This is actually episode 3. This is loading slowly because we have a live video going on. But this is healthy road snacks. So we'd love for you to check out. You can subscribe to our channel. And that's taking too long.
And just show them how you put the thumbs up.
Oh, here's a thumbs up here at the bottom. And you can actually leave comments on each show below. And that really helps us out as well. So this is our YouTube channel, youtube.com/trueformlife. And we're going to be releasing a new show tomorrow morning.
Yes.
So every Saturday morning we release a new show. And
tomorrow, should we give them a little preview?
Yeah.
So tomorrow's show is going to be about when we invited a homeless man to stay the night at our house. So if you would like to see, or we would love it if you tuned in to see that experience.
That's right. So we have a little bigger snippet interviews with him. We talk about buying clothing at the thrift store for $2. Why that's fun and exciting and important to us. And then we have another recipe. We do workouts and recipes. It's basically how we live. Mm-hmm. And then we add a certain topic like living with a homeless person or something like that.
Yeah, there's a main topic, but then within each episode we try to put in recipes and workouts or activity so that you guys can see what our daily life is like. Hence the title, Day in the Life.
We had a comment here. Nikki said, sounds like volume 1 and volume 2 to come.
Oh, because I'm going to have to write another one.
There's lots of recipes
There's
to come.
Lots of recipes, yeah.
Nikki, I didn't mean to miss your smoothie comment here. And Dawn said, let me just drag these on here. We're going to wrap things up here, guys. We promise. I know some of you might be sticking around for our prize. I think this is talking about the oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Dawn says, I always have different options when we have, topping options when we have oatmeal. Berries, nuts, apples, dried fruit, and then everyone gets exactly what they want.
Beautiful.
That's an awesome idea. And kids love to make their own choices, right? And if you put a variety of different healthy options in front of them and let them choose, then I think it goes over a lot better.
Well, it gives them the ability to contribute as well, and gives them the chance to be like, this is what I want, instead of being told, like, this is what you're having.
Yeah.
And then, Nikki, I missed this one, Nikki.
I'm supposed to read. Nikki says, when I make a smoothie, I make enough for my kids too. We all like them. CTP will be a great new addition. Hubby has breakfast at 5 a.m. None of us are up that early.
That is very early.
That is very early. Yeah. Yeah, CTP will be a great addition to your smoothies, Nikki. We were talking last week, I think, about how to keep the kids, because Nikki has teenagers, so how to keep them full. And CTP will definitely help keep you full for longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to give away we're going to do a draw for the yoga bag.
Yes.
Okay, so in the comments, if you're still watching, if you want to be entered, type in Drew's yoga bag.
Drew's yoga bag.
How about that?
I wasn't prepared, so I have to go get the little ballot.
I like it better this way anyways.
Oh my gosh.
So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos and comment. That really helps, so we really appreciate that. We love the show. We look forward to putting that new show together each week. So check out those shows. Every Saturday a new show goes up. And we publish new shows throughout the week. So if you want to check out the past shows with Cooking with Dorothy, those are on our YouTube channel. We also have our videos that we put up years ago that may be pretty entertaining for you, because we always get, we're very fortunate that people often say, you guys are great behind the camera, but it didn't start out like that at all. I was actually horrible when I first started. So you can go back and check out those videos if that is of interest to you. Dorothy is just ripping up pieces of paper so we can add your name. What else do we have going on? If you guys are interested in CTP, this is the one we bake with. That's the black and white bag. And you can bake with this one. And then this one here is for smoothies. So this one has quinoa, hemp hearts, maca, and stevia. So that one's better for smoothies. And this one is for baking. So if you want to bake, if you want to try granola, if you want to try muffins, protein balls is something we didn't talk about. A great snack for kids. And if they're not going to eat breakfast, you can entice them with something that tastes that delicious. Yeah,
Nikki and I actually talked about that as well, is the protein balls for breakfast. And it's a great idea if it is, a struggle, because like I said, Nikki has teenagers, so if it's a struggle just to, get them out the door in the morning, then they can grab 2, maybe 3 protein balls and off they go. And it's all clean ingredients, and the CTP will help keep them full. So 10 minutes later or a half hour later, they're not sitting at school with a hungry belly.
Okay, we are.
All right.
We're dragging the names on here.
Okay, let's get to it. Louise. Hey, Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
Didn't say hi yet this morning to Ruby.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I didn't take any screenshots.
Kayla. Dawn. Chantel.
Did I miss everyone? Oh, Tina.
Susan. Nikki.
If you don't see your name on the screen, good morning, Ruby. Ruby just said good morning. If you don't see your name on the screen, I didn't see you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Tina. All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. We see 10 viewers here, so if we missed your name, please let us know. Sometimes people don't want to be entered into the draw. That's perfectly okay.
All right.
So just once again, we have Louise, Ruby, Kayla, Dawn, Chantel, Sue, Nikki, Suzanne, and Tina.
Yep.
Is anyone else we missed? This is your last chance to get the last handmade, original, true form, upcycled yoga bag. And then, I was just going to mention, if you guys are interested in CTP, we also have a Complete Truth Protein group. If you're not a part of that, we talk about CTP, post recipes, we talk about nutrition. That would be a great place to start with nutrition. And for CTP, our products, we deliver them locally. We ship them to wherever you are. And we also have a few places to pick up. We're at the farmer's market every Thursday. Dawn actually runs that market.
Dawn rocks our farmer's markets.
Yeah, she's at that market every week for us. And then we can set you up. So just let us know in the comments if you're interested. If you need a bag of CTP, we'll set you up. It's great to improve digestion, and it's great to give you a boost of energy. So those two go hand in hand, and we love to set you up.
It also saves you time, right? Because it is basically a meal in a bag. So throw it in a smoothie, and you got a meal, or sprinkle some on your cereal, and you've got a complete meal. So it is a time saver as well, and we know how crazy mornings are and how tough sometimes it is to get all your snacks in, so it will save you time.
Let's smile for the camera. Screenshot.
Why is it?
Was that your face?
I did a funny face.
Oh my god.
But I don't know why I was fuzzy like that.
Fuzzy like what?
Anyway.
Oh my. If you guys haven't seen you guys would see on our Facebook page when we kind of promote our show, we put these pictures up. This is me taking screenshots while we talk. That's what happens. Thanks for all the hearts, guys. Thanks for all the likes, and thanks so much for being here. We're going to draw right now.
For the yoga bag.
Is it shucking up good? Feel bad we lost. Instagram only goes for an hour, so we lost like Aaron and Diane.
Oh, that's too bad.
Who is it going to be?
Oh dear, he's digging. Here we go.
I'm almost nervous. It's the last bag. Who is it?
I can't see. It's backwards.
Louise!
Oh, Louise!
Congratulations, Louise. You got yourself the last upcycled yoga bag.
Upcycled yoga bag.
Show it one more time. Look at that, baby. It's a thing of beauty. True form yoga bag. Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
Oh, what a great show. We love you guys. We love you coming in. Thank you so much. This is our favorite time of the week. And actually, we're really enjoying Cooking with Dorothy Lives, too.
It's a lot of fun as well. And we've been really enjoying, speaking of things we've been enjoying, we've really been enjoying our park workouts and our new 10-day fitness challenge group. So if you want to come on in and be a part of that, let us know, because there's still a week left. And that's a great amount of time to get you started on a fitness routine before the fall starts. So we'd love to see you at the park. We'd love to see you in the group. So if you'd like to join on that for the second week, let us know. Love to have you.
And if you're online, if you're just online, for example, then we still have all the workouts in the group, so you can still access them after. So if you start your first 5 days this week and we end the group, you can still use those workouts for the 5 days after.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So you can still get started with us and then
continue on. Yeah.
That's right. Yes, Kayla, we did. My apologies. I thought you could see. We can see the hearts popping up, so we can see everything with this program we have. We just can't see who's here unless you say hello. We have 9 to 10 viewers right now, 56 thumbs up. We have 1,500 hearts. Amazing. And then we have, what else 7, it's a laughy face, 7 of those, and 1 angry face.
Sorry about that. We made you mad.
It might have been a mistake. Or someone was like, you guys suck. We're out of here. Chantel says, I'm saving my workouts. Awesome, Chantel.
Oh, that's awesome, Chantel. Then you can go back. Yeah.
Congrats. Suzanne said, have a great day. And okay. Yay. Jessica says, yay, Louise. Look, I love the support when someone wins. I think
excellent.
We could be sad or we could be disappointed. And maybe we are a bit. But I love it when people are like, congrats. I think it's just great to...
just great energy.
Yeah.
Like surrounding yourself with that positive energy is always a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we should let you go. We've been here for a while. And don't forget to tune in. You can also subscribe to Cooking with Dorothy so you get all her shows emailed to you. And so you're eligible for prizes for that show. So subscribe to that newsletter list. And I'll put you in I'll leave that link in the comments here below. Mm-hmm. And check out our YouTube channel for our new Day in the Life coming out. Tomorrow morning. Every Saturday morning we release those.
So you can have your Saturday morning breakfast while you're watching us.
There you go. Hey, Diane. I was actually just mentioning I felt bad because Instagram only goes for an hour, and we're almost at hour 20 here.
We're like, oh, poor Diane got cut off.
And I was like, we had Diane, Aaron, and another person in on Instagram. We're like, oh, we lost them. So sorry about that, but thanks for joining us on Facebook. Actually going to come and see you today, Diane. So.
Yes.
All right, guys. That is all we got.
We're out of here.
Thank you so much for being here. We love you guys. We love the show. We so much appreciate your support. Louise says, have a great day, all.
Thank you, Louise. And we will catch you guys hopefully Tuesday night with Cooking with Dorothy, 7:30 Mountain Time. Right? 7:30? No, 7.
7.
Sorry, guys. 7. I think I've been saying 7:30. So Cooking with Dorothy, 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yep. Awesome. See you. Dan says, awesome. See you later. All right, guys. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Have a great Friday.